Look, you've been a good friend.
That's not necessary. In fact, my boy's got a little foothold in Brooklyn and taking care of me real good. You helped me out in my time of need, so now I'm returning the favor. We both know it won't bring him back. Take care of yourself, Monet.
I'm not like my dad. I'm smarter than him. Better than him.
What up, welcome back to the channel. I'm Monet and we are locked in. This week we got introduced to the Castillo brothers. We don't know much. We had a little bit of descriptions. I did a live last week and they popped up this week. So the 4Gs out in Brooklyn, they doing their thing, a little foothold according to Evelyn. They even got a Russian connect, or should I say had, because the Tejadas took them out, even though that plan didn't go as it was scripted. Now, before we jump into this and break down the Castillo brothers and how they're going to play a role moving forward, if you like power content, breakdowns, theories, and predictions like this, then hit your subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button and follow me on Instagram right here. Now, the Castillo brothers, we see that they got a clear-cut leader, aka Gordo. I did a video last week talking about him, but now we're gonna go a little more in depth from what we've seen in episode 3. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Who is the Castillo brothers, the 4Gs out in Brooklyn, and how will they affect the Tejadas? The first time we hear mention about the 4Gs in Brooklyn is when Evelyn shows up to give Monet some money because she's grieving the death of her son, Ezekiel Cross, the same way Monet did when Frank came up missing. So Evelyn said that she has some sons in Brooklyn, introducing the 4Gs to us, saying that they had a foothold and they're making some money. Now, of course, the family gets this information and they know about it because you got to remember, Evelyn is like an auntie to him. Frank was Lorenzo's right-hand man. They called him Uncle Frank. Even though they're not family members, they called him Uncle Frank. The first time we see the 4Gs, the brothers in Brooklyn, the Castillo brothers, is when they show up to the penthouse. This is right after the Russian connect was killed. Now we see an interaction between Drew and with Gordo, and we're going to break that down also. But first, let's look at the description for episode 4 so we can see what direction it looks like we're about to head in. Season 3, episode 4 is called The Land of Opportunity. The Tejadas and Davis discuss how they're going to handle Whitman. Drew sets up a risky deal with the help of a family friend. The Rico team gets a lead. Diana is encouraged to break ties with her family. Now, if you look at that sentence, Drew sets up a risky deal with the help of a family friend. Now, they don't say who this family friend is, but as I mentioned earlier, the Castillo brothers, they're supposed to be their cousins. They grew up together, so they know about each other, but they're really just family friends. So this deal with Drew could be going through Gordo, because if you watch closely in the episode, Gordo had a tattoo. He was also showing up to the penthouse on the Grindr app.
You grew up.
You too.
Yeah, I got a trainer.
One thing that stood out to all of us, and we all seen it, Gordo is the clear-cut leader of the Castillo brothers. Now, his description says Gordo Castillo, he's a male in his 20s, Puerto Rican, Latin, calculated and confident as a gay man existing in the streets. Once a husky kid, now fit and attractive, tough decisions are made as a group. The Castillo brothers often follow Gordo's lead. Now, you seen Gordo was doing a majority of the talking here, but one thing we seen that these brothers, they came in solidarity, and unlike the Tejadas, one person doesn't make the decision. They actually took time as a group, a collective, and made the decision to go ahead and work with Kane. Now, this is risky because they did just take out their connect, the Russian, but high risk, high reward. Now, for this opportunity to just pop up, it isn't a coincidence. This just doesn't happen overnight. So, of course, the Castillo brothers, they're looking at it, but at this point, when you don't have any money coming in, any dope coming in, you have to take this deal. But we seen in the description for episode 4 that a family friend with Drew are going to make risky decisions. And the reason we're talking about the Castillo brothers and I'm linking them to that sentence is because if you watch closely, Drew, Gordo, they had some kind of relationship. And if we go back and look at the app is saying that Gordo is about to arrive. Now, it doesn't say his name, but he does show his tattoo picture in his profile. And when he gets into place, he notices Drew, and he knows that Drew was his connect on the app. So he shows his tattoo just to confirm with Drew that I know you, you know me. And you seen they did a little flirting. Even in Drew's description, it says that Drew finds himself reconnecting with an old family friend, Uncle Frank's son, Gordo. As the two grow closer, bonding over their roles in their respective family business, Gordo encourages Drew to show his family that he should be the one to take over the Tejada throne. So with these two getting close to each other through the app, they might have a relationship, but it's looking like Gordo, he wants Drew to be in the same position, pause, as him, as the leader of his family, because Gordo is the leader of his family. So if you go back and watch, you'll see the grinder is saying your match is 50 feet, 30 feet, 20 feet. Now, I'm not sure how this works, and I'm not going to find out how it works, but he had the app on and he was coming up the elevator. So Drew looked at the camera footage and he seen that it was Gordo. That's why when they came in, they looked at each other and told each other, oh, you've grown up. And that's where we see the infamous tattoo on the wrist. So all of the descriptions are telling us that these two are going to potentially have a relationship, and it looks like Gordo is going to be trying to get Drew to conform to his rules and follow what he says, but also take that role of taking over the Tejada family. Now, this is going to be very tricky for them because we know that Drew, he just lost Everett. Kane's in charge, and Lorenzo is backing Kane at this moment. So Drew, he might go down the wrong path and follow Gordo's lead, but we already know that this is going to backfire. So somebody in the 4Gs, the four brothers from Brooklyn, might eventually get taken out. But right now, it seems like they're going to be legit. Now, the only reason that they're working with them, even after finding out that a black guy killed the Russian and the Tejadas are black/Spanish, they have to do it because they don't have any connect. And Lorenzo vouched and said, I heard in the streets. Now, if Lorenzo says something, it's usually stamped. But you got to understand, these younger generations, they don't care about what you were, what you used to do. It's about what's going on right now. But when you don't have a connect, you got to do what you got to do. Gordo may be the leader of the brothers, but I'm looking at the other three in the back, and this short one up front, he looks like he might be the one you got to look out for. And the tall one in the back that ain't saying nothing, yeah, the Castillo brothers, hopefully if they do their characters right, I want to see how they move through Brooklyn. That would be a good little storyline. If they got to go to war with them, cool. But as of right now, Brooklyn, that's a pipeline for the Tejadas. They about to be making a lot of money. It just doesn't look like the Castillo brothers are going to sit and let people just run on top of them. They're going to hold it down because they've been running Brooklyn. So I want to see how these characters play out. They seem serious. Gordo and Drew, of course, they're going to have their little dilemmas and everything, but it might work out. But then again, Drew might mess him up because Kane, he ordered the hit. Kane is the leader of the Tejadas right now. So anything that happens is going to come back on him. And if Gordo and Drew have a relationship, Gordo's going to look out for Drew and probably give him the heads up. But knowing Drew, hopefully he helps Kane out and they turn on Gordo if needed. But that's us jumping into like episode 8, episode 9. We just getting into episode 4 with the Castillo brothers. All right, let me know what you think about the Castillo brothers, and how do you think Gordo and Drew's relationship is going to play out? Is he going to put Drew in a situation that he might have to turn on his family, or is it going to get to the point where Drew sees that the Castillo brothers are a problem and he's going to have to tell Kane and they take him out? Let me know what you think. I'm Monet. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.